Very good morning. Welcome to our Bird Notes. This is Dwight Davis. Let us consider today our three Mimids, or Mimids, those loquacious members of the order Mimidae, or Mimidae. We're talking here of the catbird, the mockingbird, and the brown thrasher. Mimics and singers all, related in vocal abilities and appearance. These are familiar birds, common in suburbia. Let's start with the catbird, or officially the gray catbird, so called because of the mewing call often heard coming from the bushes. The catbird is the most retiring of this trio, skulking about with an occasional foray from one thicket to another. The slate-gray body with a black cap and rufous under the tail identify it. It actually doesn't mimic much, its calls more a mixture of squawks and squeaks. Of the catbird, apparently ill-favored in his time, Audubon made this observation. The vulgar name which this species bears has also served to bring it into some degree of contempt with persons not the best judges of the benefits it confers on the husbandman in the early spring, when with industrious care it cleanses his fruit trees of thousands of larvae and insects, which in a single day would destroy, while yet in the bud, far more of his fruit than the catbird would eat in a whole season. John James Audubon, with comments on the catbird. The gray and white mockingbird, or again properly the northern mockingbird, is the most conspicuous of this trio. It is also the most aggressive, known for diving on cats, dogs, or even humans, and it's the most musical. It seems to sing for the joy of singing, and has been compared favorably by some to the nightingale. Again, to reference Audubon, he maintained that to best appreciate its abilities, one has to hear it in Louisiana. I don't know why Louisiana, but Audubon may have been onto something. Other southern states have shown their affection for this bird by naming it their state bird: Arkansas, Florida, Mississippi, Tennessee, and Texas. Some of you of a certain generation may recall the sobriquet songbird of the South given to Kate Smith. Perhaps it should also apply to the mockingbird. The mockingbird is well named all the way around. Binominally, it is Mimus polyglottus, the many-tongued mimic. It borrows songs from many other birds, throwing them into its concerts at random times, now imitating a cardinal, now a robin, now perhaps a titmouse. The phrases of the mockingbird's songs are usually repeated 2 to 6 times, but with no real predictability. Thus, the singing is always a pleasant surprise. It's very difficult to quantify the number of different songs the mockingbird can sing, but the consensus seems to be somewhere around 100. Finally, we come to the largest of this lot, a bird usually found in the thickets, the brown thrasher, with its rufous back and tail and obvious streaks on the breast. Its mimicry is of a different sort from the mockingbird. It sings snatches of melody, sets of 2 or 3 phrases, loudly and confidently. Birdsong expert Donald Kreutzma contends that the brown thrasher has in its repertoire up to 2,000 different songs. Kreutzma then says, why does he have so many songs? I'd like to know for sure. Perhaps someday we will know. In the meantime, listen for the male brown thrasher singing in the spring, usually high up in a tree. Listen as he rolls through his repertoire. Whenever I hear him singing, I always imagine the bird throwing out a few phrases, pausing, and then thinking to himself, if you think that's good, check this out, and then launching into another round of new sounds. One more thing about these birds, they all seem to be very aware, and to anthropomorphize, to be interested in things. I used to think in the case of the brown thrasher it was that yellow irised eye that gave the bird the appearance of being alert, of having something on its mind. But then the mockingbird has a gray iris, and the catbird's eye is all black. So maybe it's their posture, streamlined and rather assertive, that sets these three apart, that makes them seem like they know exactly what's going on. But that's all subjective, really. What we know for sure is that their vocalizations are always entertaining, surprising, and uplifting.